Hello everyone, Mr. Happy here and welcome to my Bloodborne Boss Guide. Today, we'll be taking a look at the Shadows of Yharnam. This boss is located deep within the Forbidden Woods that can be accessed after defeating Vicar Amelia and using the password you obtained from the skull behind her to open a door. When you enter the boss arena, 3 different Shadows of Yharnam will greet you. This fight will probably be the most difficult one you've dealt with so far, so be prepared. Items aren't too big for this fight, so just make sure that when you reach the boss you have maximum blood vials and bullets. Fire resistance can help with the fight, but you're more likely going to be taking physical hits since the fire attacks are pretty easy to dodge. Each Shadow of Yharnam has its own moveset that you need to be aware of. There's a caster in the back that will attempt to shoot sets of fireballs at you. They're slow, so just pay attention and dodge out of the way. Another one will have a sword to attack you with, but will also channel a very powerful fire breath. This attack can kill you really easily if you aren't careful. And the final guy is the most aggressive of the 3, constantly charging at you with his sword. For the first phase of the fight, try to damage each of the shadows down to about 40 to 50% HP. To do this, it's usually best to kite around the 2 sword wielders while going after the caster. Land a few hits on him, and then back off. Then, when the main sword wielder is coming after you, go for visceral attacks. He is one of the easiest to land visceral attacks on, and it will be your primary means of damaging him. And then for the last guy, the one with the fire breath attack, just look for opportunities after that visceral attack to land some blows on him. He has some sword attacks you can visceral as well, but he highly prefers using his fire breath attack. When enough collective damage has been dealt to the 3 shadows, they will transform and enter phase 2. Now all of their attacks have been enhanced, as well as new attacks added. The main sword user can now use an attack with a much longer reach, so just never assume you're safe from his range. The candle holder can do that same attack, but also has a fire sword now. And the caster can now cast 3 fireballs into the air that drop down from above and they deal more damage. At this point, get all 3 shadows extremely low before killing 2 of them off. A super effective way of doing this is with the cannon firearm, which you should have picked up in the Forbidden Woods. If you have one upgraded, use blood bullets and bone marrow ash to get up to a maximum of 4 shots. If you hit with the bone marrow ash cannon, it will very likely kill one of the shadows if they are around 30% HP. This isn't mandatory, but it can make this last part a little easier. When the last shadow is alive, he will begin using an attack that summons several snake heads out of the ground to attack you. These can one-shot you if they land a counter hit if you're a pretty low level, so do your best to avoid them while finishing off the final shadow. This fight requires a lot of kiting the bosses, use of visceral attacks, and quick dodges, so if it takes you a few tries, just don't be discouraged. There is also a cheese strat. I won't show what happens to the boss if you do this, but if you enter the arena as you are seeing on the screen, where you jump over this tombstone and you roll down the ledge, if you enter the boss arena like that, quit your game, and then reload it, something will happen to the shadows that makes the fight quite a bit easier. I'm expecting this will be patched soon since it turns one of the harder boss fights in the game into one of the easiest. Yes, even easier than Father Gascoigne. Thanks for watching my Bloodborne Boss Guide. Here's a full fight played out for you. My character stats for this video are in the description as well. I'll see you next time, and until then, take care.